Gross 83 here, live in Woodstock, and to close off the Thanksgiving weekend holiday, have I got a special one for all of you. This is the drink for people with class and sophistication. In other words, it is the drink for winners. And this is really going to be an exciting one. In fact, I was so excited about it, I got my special shirt on here. If you can see it, I'll scoot up a bit here. You can see I've got my special shirt on here. Of course, it's all jamming me in the beam. Ah, there we go. It's all tightened up in the back, very uncomfortable. But I've got my special shirt, and I shaved because this is a very special review for me, and hopefully for you as well. Let's get right into it. What is the review tonight? Is it the usual beer? No, it is not beer tonight. Tonight's review will be, and it is still in the box, but this is the box. We've got Dewars Classic 12-year-old scotch. Let's open it up and see what we're looking at here. Get this bad boy open and take a look at what we've got here. This is a classic. I have to take these off to read it. Dewars blended Scotch whiskey, aged 12 years. True Scotch, which is important because when you get to the lower shelf in the grocery store, the things that say Scotch or whiskey, they're kind of, especially the whiskeys I learned were part whiskey and part vodka, or mostly vodka and just like a tiny bit of whiskey. Just enough whiskey that they can get by with calling it whiskey. So watch out for those bottom shelf liquors because they are just not worth the money you'll save. They are not going to be as enjoyable as a moderate or higher priced liquor. But this is double aged for extra smoothness, and it is. There's something here. Let's see. Gold, aged in hand. I can't read that worth a damn. Aged in hand-selected reserve casks for 12 years. This whiskey has long been admired as the ancestor. So this scotch goes back a long, long way. I am very excited about it. And let's get into this. Most whiskeys are aged just one time, but at Dewars, we do things a little differently. Choice malt whiskeys and fine grain whiskeys are aged separately in oak casks for a minimum of 12 years. Now, when they say 12-year scotch or 18-year scotch or 8-year-old bourbon, what that means is that the youngest whiskey in this bottle, the youngest, is 12 years. So this bottle could have some 15, 18, or 21-year-old scotch whiskey in it, which is very exciting. But let's get back to the of what they have to say about this fine product. our master blender, Stephanie McLeod, blends our matured whiskey together before aging our blend in oak casks once more. This extra step is where the magic really happens. Our whiskeys marry together to create an unbelievably smooth whiskey enjoyed the world over. Now that sounds like a fine product to me, but I have not had this brand of scotch. I've had a few different ones, but not this one. Let's see what it says. And there's the diagram. It says we age, and then we blend, and we age again. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it says there's the three. We age again. So they age it twice. And this is, this is the notes that I should be getting. They talk about notes of dried fruit, citrus, and vanilla. So these are the notes you would get from this wonderful scotch. And you might get something completely different, because when I watched the Whiskey Tribe, maybe I'll tag them in this video because I really enjoy their stuff. But there's three people, usually there's three people. There's Daniel, he's a class 3 sommelier. There's Brianna, who I'm not sure what she does, because when I was watching them a few years ago, she wasn't on the squad, but she definitely had some expertise. And then there's Daniel, also known as the Mooch. So, but when they taste a whiskey, you've got Daniel, he's gonna say it has notes of these 3 or 4 different things. And then Brianna, she's gonna maybe say 3 or 4 different things from that. And then the Mooch, Rex, is going to say it has 3 completely different things from the other 2 people. And then sometimes they get the same notes and the same flavor vibes. But taste is subjective. So the only way to find out what notes you might get from a scotch or a bourbon or an Irish whiskey or any type of whiskey, Japanese whiskey is gaining popularity these days, is to buy a bottle and taste for yourself. And that is exactly what I'm going to do right now, because okay, let's see here. Might take a minute. I think I'm going to pause this. Okay, we are back. And we are opening this wonderful scotch. I had a little bit of a time, so I left that part on the cutting room floor, if you will. This really has a smell to it. Nice smell. I'm not sure about the other 2 notes, but I'm definitely getting the vanilla. So we're just going to pour a little bit of this because I will have more later. Just a little sample. It was on the Whiskey Tribe channel, which I strongly recommend if you want to start getting into whiskeys and learning how to smell and how to taste them properly. I strongly recommend the channel. But on the Whiskey Tribe, they pour very small amounts, and they never, at least to me, they never seem like they're even getting buzzed. And they are sampling sometimes 5, 6, 7, 8 different whiskeys in an episode, and they seem as sober as a judge from beginning to end. So if you're going to get into whiskey tasting, just a little bit. In fact, this might even be too much, but since I know I'm not going to be driving, I think I'm going to be okay. But let's try to see what we got here. Oh, that is nice. That is really nice. Oh, that is really nice. Now I'm still learning how to do this properly. Now you'll notice that I took that first sip and just swallowed it right down. Well, that is something I learned from watching the Whiskey Tribe. Now the next sip, you're gonna let that sit. And I don't know what the word for it is, but don't do it like it's a mouthwash. But kind of swirl it around a little bit in your mouth, and then you'll really get the notes. Because I was really, really getting that citrus that they talked about on the back of the box. So that citrus is really coming through right now, and it just has a nice smooth taste. Because when you're young and you're doing shots, you're not gonna taste the whiskey. People will be like, oh yeah, I like this kind of whiskey and that kind of whiskey, and you say, oh, how do you drink it? Do you like it neat? Do you like it on the rocks? Do you like it with a couple drops of water? And when they say, oh, I just do shots, then they're not tasting the whiskey. They're tasting the burn associated with the whiskey, but they are not tasting the whiskey. So I'm tasting the whiskey. I'm experiencing the whiskey. Really nice. Again, that vanilla is really, really coming through. Oh yeah. Right at the finish is when I'm getting that citrus, that citrus taste. Very nice. Very, very nice finish. Let's see. And we're still going here. We're smelling it. We're getting the citrus. Getting the vanilla. So good. This is a really, really good whiskey. And I had a coupon, so I got it. It was, I think normally it's a $26 bottle, and it was on, well, I think it's normally a $28, on sale for $26, and then I had another $3 off, so like $24. I don't know. I can't do math, but it was somewhere between $22 and $25, and that for that price point, I strongly recommend this whiskey. You notice I got it all around my tongue, my gums. But just really want. Now I don't recommend that if you have any open wounds in your mouth. So don't do that. But God, the smell is just sensational. And another thing I learned, and I am going on a ways here, but I'm staying. I feel like I'm staying on topic. In some of my other videos, I go a little bit off the rails talking about this non-winner or that non-winner, but this is something that is for winners. So I won't be talking about any non-winners tonight. And another technique that is that they do, but you have to make sure, you have to look at your hands. Here's my hand. You can see it doesn't have any cuts on it or open wounds. But what I've seen the guys and the young lady doing the whiskey tribe, they will take it like this, just a little bit now, just like a little. That's probably a little more than I want. And they will rub it into their hands. Ooh. Okay, that you can really get the smell with it that way. This is really a good way to get the smell. Yeah, that is one way to do it. That is, but again, if you've got any open wounds on your hands, I don't think that would be the best idea. But that, you can really get those notes. That, I think I want to make sure everybody knows that I am not any kind of an expert on whiskey. I am a definite novice. But based on the smell, the smoothness, and the flavor, and the price point, I think this Scotch whiskey, I am going to give it a 5-star rating. Now the Whiskey Tribe and the Magnificent Bastards, that's what the members are called, so I'm not sure if I'm a magnificent bastard or not, but hopefully I am. But they might laugh at me for giving this moderate to low-priced Scotch such a high rating, but for the price point, I stand by it. 5 stars. And I want to thank everybody for watching this wonderful video. And next week, if everything goes as planned, we will have a special guest that you all were introduced to last week. It's a week out, so we're not going to say it's definitely going to happen, because you never know what happens from one day to the next. But tentatively scheduled for next Sunday, it will be me and Mr. Chris Dunn. What will we be reviewing? Well, you will just have to tune in to find out. And I want to thank everybody who is watching this, and have a spectacular Sunday evening, and thank you for everything. Goodbye.